Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And it is early evening, it is 6:14 p.m., and my husband is on his way home. We're gonna eat a little bit of dinner and watch some TV and hang out with the dogs tonight. So I thought, I'm gonna get on here and make a Peterisms video really quick, read some meditation, see what the universe is saying to me about what I should be working on in my life today. So I have all of the, oh my God, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have all of these meditation books right here. These are all of the ones that I don't read unless I'm filming a video. So I have this one pulled out from the Daily Book of Positive Quotations by Linda Picone. And we're gonna read for November 4th, Willing Change. It is not by spectacular achievements that man can be transformed, but by will. Ibsen. How do we change ourselves? How do we change the world? We hope for saviors, for magic, for something wonderful that will bring peace and understanding, that will end hunger, that will give children everywhere the chance to grow up safe. While we hope for saviors and magic, we also must set our will and do what we can on our own to make a difference. I'm not sure what I can do to change the world and help make it better, but I'll find something. If each of us does one small thing, the world will change. Interesting meditation for the day, you know? I'm really a believer in like grassroots organizations and really starting small and doing what you can to improve the world, you know, on a daily basis. I think it's a Gandhi quote, you know, be the change you want to see in the world. I love that quote. And I believe that, you know, I really, really do believe that. I think, you know, the last year, I've been asking myself this and been talking to my sponsor too, you know, that the last year of my life has been so introspective on like who I was and who I am. And that I think that going forward, you know, a big part of my evaluation of my inventory from here on out for the next year maybe is going to be focused on, and who do I want to be? You know, who do I want to be going forward? And who do I want to be going forward starts with who am I today? And it really starts with who am I every day that I wake up? What do I engage in? Do I decide to engage in arguments and, you know, the messiness and that kind of stuff? Or do I choose to be part of the solution? You know, one of my best friend, Tanya, one of her favorite quotes is always be part of the solution, not the problem. And I have to ask myself that, you know, and anything that I choose to engage in. And a lot of what we do in life is really our choice in engaging in something. We can sit back and not be part of something, you know. I think often in life we think that we have to put ourselves into a situation to help it out. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes we can wait until that comes to, you know, our doorstep. Even when it's, you know, an argument between two family members or two friends. Sometimes it's not our place, you know. I don't know that it's my place to stand in front of somebody's journey. And so if it doesn't have to do with me, you know, if it doesn't, like the old saying, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. You know, it's kind of that. Like if it doesn't apply to me, I kind of choose to stay out of it today. So then what it is what is my part in anything that's going on, you know, in the world around me. And it starts rather small. You know, it starts with my relationship with my husband, my relationship with my best friend, you know, my other friends, my sponsor, my dogs, things like that. What am I doing in the small world around me? Am I bringing people joy, you know, or am I making their lives more difficult? Am I part of the solution or am I part of the problem? You know, am I surprising my husband with something fun, or am I, you know, bringing problems to that, you know? And I have to ask myself that on a daily basis. You know, what am I doing? Even just in like that, you know, in my relationship or my relationship with a friend, you know? What can I do, you know? One of the things I've really tried in the last year that I really try to reach out to people and say, you know, how are you doing today? Is there anything that I can do to make your life better? You know, what can I do to help improve your life today? Instead of always being like, oh, so-and-so doesn't call me anymore, or so-and-so this or whatever. I'm so done playing that finger pointing game. I don't care anymore. I really don't. You know, it's just like, it was interesting because on my drama channel today, I talked about a quote that a beauty influencer, Nikita Dragon, put out, and she said, unfortunately, I don't care anymore, you know? And it's funny because it's kind of like, you know, coming from this person, it's probably like, you know, it's very tongue-in-cheek. But unfortunately, I don't care anymore, you know? Or fortunately, I do. But there's a lot in the world that I don't give any amount of thought to. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect my world. It doesn't affect my life. And it's, you know, been an amazing year to prioritize what is really important to me in my life. You know, when I wake up every single day and I say to myself, if tomorrow I lost these things, what would really like be a major loss to me, you know? And so then I have to ask myself, well, what am I doing to contribute positively to the world? I talked about that the other day, I think, that my dad always said to me, whenever I was growing up, whatever you do with your life, make sure that you're positively contributing to the world in some way, by sharing your, life stories or doing something positive or whatever. And so I try to ask myself that, on a daily basis. What am I doing? Am I doing anything today to make somebody's day better or contribute positively to that, or, just make somebody laugh, or be an ear to somebody that needs to talk? What am I doing to contribute, positively to the world? So I think that when we talk about change, when we see that quote, it is, every time, you guys, if you watch my vlogs, that I like beauty pageants or, scholarship pageants. Whenever I go to, I go to a lot of them. And when I go, it's like there's always somebody whose platform or whose quote is, be the change you want to see in the world. And I'm like, okay, but are you really the change you want to see in the world? What is the change you want to see in the world? Well, I'd like to see more people smile at one another. So if that's the change that I'd like to see in the world, maybe I need to start smiling at people a little bit more, and that was something I tried a couple years ago. I talked about it even on my vlog. I said, if I smile at you and you smile at them and they smile at somebody else, and then we've got a whole world smiling. Unfortunately, it sounds rather trite, and it sounds, like a really simple idea, and it wouldn't be that difficult. But it's not something that probably will ever happen in our world, and isn't that sad that we can't change the world with just a smile? I mean, it's really a simple thing. In that time that I have been doing that, though, I can tell you, there have been many days that I have smiled at people, and I can tell they needed somebody to smile at them. And there have been many days that people have smiled at me, that I needed to see somebody smile at me. I needed somebody to, look at me. And basically sometimes when somebody's smiling at me, what they're saying is, it's gonna get better. It's not gonna always be as bad as it is today. Because there are just some days, I mean, I'm sure for all of us, there are just some days that we think, is it ever gonna get better? Is my life ever going to get better? And somebody simply smiling at you, especially a stranger that doesn't know you, and just being like, are you having an okay day? Whatever. Sometimes, that just, it can change the whole course of that day. I had a friend of mine that taught me this years ago, that you never know, like, when you're meeting somebody, where you're meeting them at, and it was a friend of mine that was a hairstylist, and she took this woman was running like 15 minutes late, and the place that she worked was like, if people come longer than 15 minutes, you can't take them because it'll disrupt your schedule. And this had been like, a client of hers that she had seen for a while. And so she decided to take her, and, she was supposed to say to her, that day, like, if the next time you come 15 minutes late, I'm gonna have to cancel your appointment. And she sat down and she started doing her hair, and like through the course of her doing her hair, the woman said something to the effect of that her mom had passed away or her dad had passed away that morning. And she said, thank you for taking me. I know I was late, but she's like, this is some time that I can actually sit here and focus on myself. You never know who you're meeting along the way, whose day you're changing, who you're impacting when you meet them. And you know what? Who's to say that our day is more important than theirs, It's a fantastic meditation. Okay, my battery died. That's the second time that's happened today. I keep on changing out the batteries. Let's read from Melody Beatty, Journey to the Heart, Daily Meditations on the Path to Freeing Your Soul. Okay, November 4th. Let's see. November 4th, where are you? Oh, it's very short today. November 4th, move on to joy. Are you willing to be here in constant abject pain 1 minute longer? I'm not. I think I did this meditation actually a year ago. I remember reading this. Or I just read it to myself and I remember it. November 4th, move on to joy. Are you willing to be here in constant abject pain 1 minute longer? I'm not. Are you willing to be here suffering endlessly and needlessly through distressing situations, worrying, fussing, fretting about things you can do nothing about? I'm not. And we don't have to be. We're here to feel joy and absorb all of life's beauty we can. If pain comes, let it pass quickly through, then move on to joy. It's a conscious choice. Wow. Okay, one of the things, I talk a lot about my best friend on here, but we speak a language of recovery, and, we'll always be sharing things with us and whatever. And, one of the things that she says to me a lot is, why do you dial up pain? Meaning that if there's a situation that is like not going to be resolved, or, you're going through something over and over and over again, why do you continue to repeat that pattern? Why do you call, up pain? Like, why do you put it there in your life? You have a choice. We do have choices about this stuff. I know it doesn't seem that way. When I've been in the middle of something that is so painful, it's like, okay, put one foot in front of the other, you can start your day over whenever you want. Like, I know all that stuff, right? And it doesn't seem that that way, but it really is true. We really, truly can choose what our life looks like. And I think that a lot of it for me, it'd be interesting for me to go back and look at my meditation from a year ago and see what I said, because I think today what's different for me is, and maybe then it was the same thing, but gratitude is the way out for me today. When I look at my life through the eyes of gratitude and what I am so blessed to have in my life, or what I have been given so freely, and then I try to give that back freely to others, you know, when I look at that and I look at that, my life is this reciprocal action of gratitude that I'm given so much. My life is so amazing, you know. I have a life beyond my wildest dreams. I have a life beyond my wildest dreams. Yes, there are going to be things that happen in my life, you know, that aren't the greatest things. You know, it's not like, I remember when my dad, when I was younger, he said to me, you kids all think that you turn 18 and you win the lottery and life becomes really easy. That's not the case. When I got sober, I thought, oh my God, my life is going to be so great. Well, what it really was life kept on going on, but I had tools and skills of how to deal with that stuff that I didn't have before. But stuff still happened, you know. I lost a parent, I lost an aunt, I went through breakups, you know, I had career changes, all kinds of things, you know. Things still happen in your life, but then you have ways to deal with them. Life is bitter and sweet. Life is the good and the bad. And, you know, I just think this is a really, you know, powerful meditation. On a daily basis, I wake up every day and I have a choice on what I want that day to look like. What do I want this day to look like today? Do I want this day to be, you know, filled with pain, misery, complaining, whining? You know, when I'm like in that complaining, whining mode, like nobody really wants to hear it. Nobody really wants to be around me, you know. And that's like while I was talking about earlier, you know, that my friend Tanya is like, are you part of the solution or part of the problem? And I have to ask myself that on a regular basis. And what do I want to be, you know? Like, I don't want my life to be filled with misery and woe. I want my life to be filled with happiness and joy. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts, I truly believe that most people, most of you out there watching this video, want your lives to be filled with happiness and joy. I can't imagine why you would want something else, unless the misery and the pain is doing something for you. And then I think you have to ask yourself, well, how am I benefiting from the misery and pain in my life that I'm choosing to keep it in there, you know? And I'm not talking about something that just happened a week ago or a month ago. I'm talking about something that happened 6 months ago, a year ago. Why are we continuing to stay in the pain when today we have a choice whether we move on? And if you do not feel like you know how to move on, you know, find somebody to talk to, find somebody professional to talk to. Because a lot of times we feel very stuck. I've been so stuck at times in my life that I needed other people's assistance to help me get out of it. The other thing is that there's little small things that I can do each and every day to put one foot in front of the other to help me get out of that and to move towards joy. And today I want joy, I want peace, I want serenity, you know, I want happiness in my life. And I truly believe that most people do. So anyway, little Boo Radley he's right here. He said, Dad, I need some attention. So there's little Boo Radley. I'm going to get off here now and look at his little hair. And go get them some dinner. And then Alex will be home in a second. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.